Hi, I'm Myra Castro. Californians are paying a premium at the pump, and a new study shows high-paying jobs are leaving Ventura County.
Hi, I'm David Compton. An application for 8 floating wind turbines off the Santa Barbara coast meets with opposition from a local Indian tribe and conservationists.
Hi, I'm Olivia Simonson. On this episode, I sit down with Ben Oakley from the Western States Petroleum Association to discuss the impact of the upcoming vote on Measures A and B in Ventura County. All these stories and more coming up on this edition of Power On.
This episode of Power On is sponsored by California Natural Resources Group, your local energy company meeting California's needs today while transitioning us to the green energy future of tomorrow. On March 11, California Lutheran University's Center for Economic Research and Forecasting presented a 3-part series on Ventura County's 2022 Regional Economic Forecast. The data presented showed a bleak economic outlook for the county, including a 15% decline in gross domestic product. The most eye-opening stat, the National Association of Realtors ranked Ventura County as one of the top 5 least affordable counties in the United States based on median household income, falling behind only New York and San Francisco. They pointed to opportunities for economic growth like the development of the Hueneme Port. Besides affordable housing efforts, other economic projects were absent from the dialogue. In agriculture, for example, Luis Lampara of the Ventura County Coalition for Labor, Ag, and Business points to a 3-fold increase in regulatory compliance that stagnated the county's foundational industry. The local energy industry provides an opportunity for growth. Jobs in the utility sector have increased. The oil and gas industry supports 1,500 high-paying jobs, and renewable energy projects abound. An all-the-above energy policy will protect existing jobs and forge the path for new ones. Power On will be right back after this brief message.
The world is changing, and so is our energy needs. We're proud to be your local energy company leading the way to the green energy future we all desire. We are Cal Energy.
Serico Corp and Ideal USA have submitted plans to float up to 8 wind-powered generators less than 3 miles offshore of Santa Barbara. And that's run headlong into some efforts to designate that area of ocean off the Central Coast as a Chumash Heritage National Marine Sanctuary. The turbine proposal has sparked outrage amongst conservationists and members of the Northern Chumash tribe who say the sanctuary is intended to preserve Chumash tribal history and protect the area's rich biodiversity. Building a network of floating turbines that are tethered to the seafloor and then connected to each other and also connected to the mainland through electric cables is an affront to the preservation, they say. However, the Biden administration less than a year ago announced plans to speed up development of offshore wind farms to create 30 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030. That's enough to power more than 10 million homes. Critics of the wind turbine proposal include tribal leaders, the California Coastal Commission, NOAA, the Pacific Coast Federation of Fishermen, Surfrider, and the Sierra Club.
Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Power On News. I am so excited to be joined today by Ben Oakley of the Western States Petroleum Association. He's an environmental scientist. He's all over the news these days, talking about some of the important things going on in Ventura County. Ben, you are representing the No on Measures A and B campaign. Talk to us a little bit about what that campaign means and why it matters for our viewers.
Thanks, Olivia. Yeah, and happy to be here. Yeah, the no campaign. Obviously, we're against measures A and B, which we feel are a deceptive campaign that would give the 3 elected officials in the county of Ventura the ability to shut down the oil and gas industry based on politics and ignoring the dozens of regulatory agencies that are in place to protect our environment. So we think it's a misleading campaign. They're using unfounded fears of groundwater contamination and other environmental concerns to shut down the industry. And we think that shutting down the industry will have a negative effect on the local community because it would eliminate thousands of jobs where local working families rely on these jobs for their income, and tens of millions of dollars of local revenue that pay for essential services like the fire department, the sheriff's department, and for our schools. For that reason, we urge folks not to vote for measures A and B, and to vote no on the deceptive oil and gas shutdown.
So, Ben, what are 3 things that you want our PowerON viewers to know about the No campaign and what it stands for?
Well, the No campaign primarily, I think, right now when we're seeing record high gas prices, this is not going to help with prices. This is elementary economics. It's supply and demand. And if you reduce the supply, which the measures A and B will do, it's going to increase the price. That's just fundamental economics. And so right now, when we're facing an energy crisis in this state and in this country, it's totally irresponsible to be shutting off our own supply here in Ventura County. This would happen with no benefit to local drinking water. The campaign, yes on measure A and B, would have people believe that we need to do this to protect our water, and that's just not the case. There are dozens of regulatory agencies in place, including the Regional Water Board, the Air Pollution Control District, and others, that make sure that we are protecting the air and water of our local communities. And so, those are some of the main reasons we'd urge voters to reject measures A and B.
You were saying, is the industry willing to comply with regulations? Like, the industry isn't regulatorily adverse. They're it sounds like what you were saying is, when there's a regulation that's reasonable, the industry is willing to step up and comply with it.
Yeah, the industry has a long history of environmental compliance, and we're proud to produce oil under the highest standards in the world, right here in California. We just think we should be allowed to do it, and to do it without unreasonable constraints, and without arbitrary shutdowns that politicians would impose on the local industry, and the economic fallout that would occur because of those shutdowns. We talk about thousands of jobs, but here's the thing: these are not just any old jobs, right? These are high-paying jobs. These are way higher than average jobs. They are precisely the types of jobs that this county desperately needs. So these are head of household jobs with benefits, and they offer an opportunity for folks from all sorts of backgrounds. We have a very diverse workforce, and people with varying degrees of education, to get a foot in the door and get a career started where they can raise a family and buy a home. And so this is a career path that is virtually unavailable elsewhere. And so these are the very types of jobs that this county so desperately needs, and they're on the line here. And so that's why we think voters should reject this deceptive attempt to shut down the local oil and gas industry.
Ben, thank you so much for your insights and your time. It's been terrific talking to you a little bit more about this topic. I really appreciate your perspective, and I appreciate the discussion. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me, and good luck to your show.
Thank you.
Californians have always paid a premium at the pump, but are the refineries to blame? As of March 14th, the average cost for a gallon of gas in the state of California was $5.58. Now, Governor Gavin Newsom and consumer advocacy groups are going after the state's refineries for price gouging, claiming that their margins are single-handedly hurting Californians at the pump. The Big Oil Windfall Profits Tax Act would require refineries to pay a per barrel tax calculated using the difference between current oil prices and the oil prices of 3 years ago. Californians pay a $1.30 premium at the pump regardless of the price of oil. California's unique, cleaner burning gasoline blend contributes to high refining costs per gallon, as refineries in the state must comply with the state's strict regulatory requirements. While Sacramento wants to alleviate these cost burdens, taking aim at refineries for global prices may be missing the mark, especially in a state where more than half of our oil comes from foreign sources. Californians need real solution, and it's unclear if this tax act will enact any change.
Well, that's it for this edition of Power On. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button. On behalf of myself, Olivia Simonson, Myra Castro, and everybody else here at Power On, thanks for watching.